Welcome everyone to the first game of Week 5 in the AAF Simulated on EA Sports, and it is gonna be a good one. A huge matchup right now. The 2-2 Orlando Apollos hit the road to take on the 2-2 Birmingham Iron. Both of these teams have had up and downs this season, as shown by their records, and they now face off in their first match of the year. And again, it's going to be a big one because both these teams, 2-2, one of these teams advances to 3-2, probably take control of the AAF East Division. Meanwhile, whoever loses this might end up dropping to third place. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's a three-way tie right now between Atlanta, Orlando, and Birmingham at 2-2. So whoever wins this, and I think a big part of this game, which one of these defenses is going to step up and make some big plays? I mean, both these offenses have seen up and downs. Honestly, I'd say Orlando is certainly the favorite to win in this game just because of their offense. Last week, they had a horrible game against Salt Lake. They lost 32-8. Garrett Gilbert really struggled, but the first 3 weeks, they looked phenomenal. I mean, they had that ridiculous, stupid loss to San Antonio with that crazy PI call. They should be 3-0, or, well, at this point, 3-1. So 2-2 does not really serve Orlando justly. They should be 3-1. Meanwhile, Birmingham, they had a really lucky win last week over San Antonio, a game that I thought the Commanders should have won. In my opinion, I think these records should be 3-1 and 1-3, but we'll see. Birmingham getting the ball first. Elliott Fry sends it away, and we'll see what Birmingham can do to change my mind. Quan Bray on the return, looking for some blockers, and he'll take it up to the 29. So decent starting field position, and here's the one reason why I'm not putting too much confidence in Birmingham right now, and that's Luis Perez. On the season, thrown for 974 yards, not a bad stat. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, but 7 interceptions. Granted, last week, he actually did not turn over the football, which is really the main reason why Birmingham won that game, because despite how stale their offense was, they forced 4 turnovers on the Commanders and didn't turn the ball over once. That was a big part of their win, and turnovers, I'm sure, will be a big factor today as well. 1st and 10 from their own 29. Let's see what Tim Lewis decides to call. On the ground, it's Richardson, and he's met right away in the backfield. Nowhere for him to go. Excellent tackling up front. That's Josh Banks, the defensive tackle, in there to make a play. The big stop, and Orlando's defense was shredded last week by Salt Lake. I really think the Stallions are by far the best team in this. Well, not maybe by far. San Diego's close, and Orlando should be close as well, but they had a terrible performance in Salt Lake, and they're going to want to right the ship here and prove that they are one of the better teams in this league. It's been a rough go for them. We'll see how they can improve, how they can bounce back today. The defense, they're going to have to get going fast and early. That's a big stop right there on the first play of the game. 2nd and 11 coming up. Birmingham. Let's see what they can do offensively to get back. Perez back to throw. Big blitz. Checks it outside. It's caught. Trent Richardson. And he'll be taken down by Ladarius Gunner at the 36. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 3. This is a big 3rd down already to start this game. A couple factors that we want to really talk about is Birmingham's offense has been very inconsistent this season. You know, week 1 they looked good. Week 2 they really struggled. Week 3 they started the game phenomenal. Took a 20-8 lead and then blew it. Last week they were horrible, yet they somehow found a way to win. So we'll see what form of Birmingham is here today. 3rd and 3. Quick pass, and somehow it's hauled in by Wes Saxton for the first down. And the Iron moves the chains up to the 46. Looked like they were a little bit off timing there, yet Saxton is able to make the adjustment and turn around just in time for this football. Look, he's not hardly even turned around, and then just kind of is able to turn around and make the grab, and it's a great play. Orlando just a little bit too soft with the coverage on that short 3rd and 3, and it allows Luis Perez to pick up the first down to Saxton. And yeah, again, one of these defenses is going to step up and make some plays to win this game. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Orlando, after the nice first play, give up a couple of big plays. Off-play action, Perez. He's been really effective off-play action. He's going to go deep down the field and just misses his man. Looking for Quentin Patton. Shoots it out of bounds. Let's take a look at this Birmingham offense. An offense that's been, you know, again, inconsistent. But Trent Richardson, 224 yards in the season, but 3 touchdowns. Also has been making some plays through the air. And then look at the receivers. Well, Damian Washington is a guy that does not get enough respect. He's had a great season, 20 catches, 245 yards, has not found the end zone yet, but he's been a big part of this offense, and I expect to see him involved quite a bit today as well. 2nd and 10 coming up from their own 46. See what Tim Lewis, head coach of the Iron, calls here. Kind of want to see them give it to Richardson. They will off the draw, and it's a nice gain all the way up to the 49, picks up about 5 to bring up 3rd and 5. Let's look at this Orlando defense. This is a defense that has a lot of weapons. You got Leon Orr, Giorgio Newberry, Josh Banks also on the line who made that play. The linebackers, Terrence Garvin, Rising North up. We've seen Azim Victor make some nice plays the last few weeks. And then the cornerbacks, Marcus White, Cody Riggs. You also got Ladarius Gunner in there, Mark Myers, Will Hill, safety position. You know, it really was baffling to see this defense give up so many points to Salt Lake last week. They gave up 32 points. Blown out 32-8. They got to improve today, and we'll see. Couldn't get the 3rd and 5 stop, the 3rd and 3 stop. Can they get a stop here on 3rd and 5? What's Luis Perez going to do? All receivers spread wide. Back to throw. With plenty of time, now going to check it to the outside, and it's caught for a 1st down to Trent Richardson. Luis Perez finds a way to get it done, and hey, look at that. That's exactly what Perez has to do. We haven't seen him do this much this season. Just stand in the pocket and make a perfect throw on the money. Beautifully executed and a great designed play from Tim Lewis. And I love that. Again, going back to Luis Perez. How about the offensive line, though? How about them giving him plenty of time? And now, 10-yard pickup on that play. They're inside Orlando's 40. Orlando's going to challenge this.
The previous play is under review.
And I'm pretty sure he had both feet in. Possession, 1-2. Yeah, that's a clear catch. What does Steve Spurrier see here? The Apollo's just going to blow a timeout there, which is not good for them. And that's a 1st down. Obviously, gain of 10. Stands as it should, and I don't see what Steve Spurrier saw there. That was a clear catch from Richardson. Did a great job getting both feet down. And yeah, he's someone that has been, you know, involved in this offense and involved in making plays through the air. Come on. Back to throw. Oh, actually, no, it's Richardson on the ground, taken down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Trent Richardson on the season also has 88 yards through the air and a touchdown. So 4 total touchdowns for him on the season. He's been making plays. 2nd and 10 coming up now from the 39. I gotta find another way to view my stats. I view them on my phone, but Google Drive sucks on the phone. It's horrible. 2nd and 10 now from the 39. See what the play call is from Lewis. And they fake the pass, and oh my goodness. Terrence Garvin read that play all the way, and Richardson loses 4. How about that penetration from Garvin? And that's the type of play that you need to see your defense come up and make, especially after losing that challenge. You lose a timeout. But what a play by Garvin. This has been a long opening drive from the Iron here. And they're still not even in field goal range. Huge 3rd and 14. Orlando's defense has got to step up and make a huge stop here if they want to get some momentum of their own. 3rd and 14. See what the play call is. Back to throw is Perez with plenty of time. Gonna let it go deep in the field. Man, wide open. It's caught by Wes Saxon, a tight end inside the 13. At the 13, excuse me. What a play. And Orlando's defense once again cannot come up with a stop. And you know, this is kind of reminiscent of Birmingham in week 1. We saw Wes Saxon have one heck of a game then. Back in week 1, him and Luis Perez were just making plays all over the place. Get those stats up. Wes Saxon had 8 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown in that game. Hasn't seen a lot of production since, but that's a huge play for the Iron right there. 1st and 10 now inside the red zone of the 13. Back to throw is Perez with plenty of time. Checks it out to the outside. It's complete. That's Trent Richardson out of the backfield. Gain of 3. Coming up 2nd and 7 now from the 10. Birmingham moving the football great on this opening drive, and this is something that, again, we've seen them. They've been very inconsistent. Week 1, they moved the football well. Week 2, not so much. Week 3, they were moving the ball great in the first half, and then second half, they just couldn't find a way to get it done. Last week, they couldn't find a way to get it done either, but still won the game. 2nd and 7 now from the 10. Off play action, Perez. All day to throw the football. Lets it go towards the end zone, and it's hauled in by Quentin Patton at the 1. Wow. So Perez finally finds a man after having about 15 seconds to throw the football. First and goal from the 1, and do you go to Trent Richardson here on the ground? I'd say do it. I mean, he scored a couple of their touchdowns against Atlanta in week 3. And they're going to throw, go into the air, and it's a touchdown. Birmingham strikes first, and it's Quentin Patton in the end zone. Couldn't get in on the previous play. The Iron on top early over Orlando. And hey, I mean, this is a game where one of the teams is going to have to step up and turn around the course of their season. And the offense looking phenomenal right there from Birmingham. Great throw from Perez. And how about Luis Perez on an opening drive? I mean, I think that's the best he's looked all season long. Tim Lewis dialing up some great play calling. And Orlando, they have to figure it out on their side of the football. Their defense has not been playing well at all the last couple weeks. 2-point try now for the Iron. Back to throw is Perez with time. Goes to the outside, and it is complete to LaDamian Washington. 8-0 the Iron lead. 3:48 to play in the first. Birmingham making moves. And you know, we look back. Week 3, we were thinking about benching Luis Perez. You guys voted to keep him in. Last week, he didn't really have that great of a performance, but he played good enough to keep him as the starter. And look at the way he started this game. The touchdown, the 2-point conversion. Playing excellent football right now, and we'll see if Orlando and Garrett Gilbert can step up, make something happen offensively. You know, they went down 8-0 against Memphis in week 3, then came back and won that game. So, 8-0 early in the game, but what a statement from Tim Lewis and the Birmingham Iron. So Nick Novak now on to kick it away. Back to receive is Akeem Hunt in the end zone, and he will just take a knee. And that's where the Apollos will set up shop at the 25 because of number 25. Out comes Garrett Gilbert, and he's one of the guys. What an interesting season from him. Still the second best QB in this league, completing 74% of his passes, thrown for 874 yards, 8 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. All 3 of those coming last week against Salt Lake. He was perfect up until that point with turnovers, so we'll see what he can do to improve today, get back on track, and try to get his team a big win. They have a lot of offensive weapons. Can the Apollos put it together? In motion is Johnson. Back to throw is Gilbert on first down. With time, shoots it across the middle, and it's complete to Chris Thompson for a gain of about 6. It's going to bring up 2nd and 4 from their own 31. And I think this is what Orlando's going to have to do. You know, get into a rhythm, get some nice, simple plays, drive the ball down the field, and score a touchdown. You know, this is something that they struggled to do last week, and something that the Apollos have really struggled with the last few weeks, in fact, has been finishing their drives. And Gilbert going to try to take it himself. That's a play that's worked in the past, but only gets them about 2 on that play. Now we're going to see this Orlando offense that has so many weapons, and right now, offensive line has been playing really good, even last week in their loss. Dearness Johnson leading the league with 327 yards on the ground, averaging 4.9 yards a carry. And then you got the wide receivers that have also been getting in on the action. Sean Price, tight end though, 203 yards and 2 touchdowns for him. He's got the most receiving yards of any Apollo. Actually, no, Charles Johnson does with 208. Sean Price playing good. Huge 3rd and 2 right now. Can Gilbert get him a conversion? Passes it towards the sidelines, and it is caught by Sean Price at the 49. Big reception. The Apollos move the chains. Who were we just talking about? Sean Price. And he comes up and makes a big play there. Look at that catch and able to hang on even with the contact. Birmingham's defense unable to get the stop, and Orlando was able to move the chains and avoid the 3 and out. That's a big play to stop. To keep the drive moving, and also avoid, that 3 and out to start the game after giving up 8 points to Birmingham right off the bat. You do not want your offense to start with a 3 and out. So that's a big conversion. Let's see what they can do here. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Johnson gets his first carry, looking for some blockers, trying to break tackles, and takes it in to Birmingham territory. And now we're going to get a look at this Iron defense. And it's a defense that forced 4 turnovers last week. Casey Sales had a fumble recovery last week. And someone that I really want to talk about, first of all, Jonathan Matsakoy made some great plays. So did Benequez Brown, who also forced a fumble recovery. Jamar Summers, Elijah Campbell had a fumble 6. But someone who was the player of the game last week, Ryan White, the quarterback for the Iron, he had phenomenal stats. He had like 8 tackles, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, had an interception. He was doing it all last week for the Iron. It was really a big part of that fourth quarter. I guess you can call it a comeback for the win at home. 2nd and 5 now from the 46. See what Spurrier calls. It's another run to Johnson, who's got a first down and more. Johnson breaking loose, and Dearness Johnson, I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Touchdown, Orlando. Dearness Johnson goes 46 yards for the touchdown. That's one of the longest touchdowns runs of the season for any team. Wow, look at that. And this is what we've been talking about. Johnson is explosive. He can run through guys, but then he just explodes through those holes and finds a way to get it done. And I wish we would have seen another angle on that. Big time run, and that's his 2nd touchdown of the season on the ground. And a 2-1 conversion coming up now for the Apollos. See if they can convert and tie this game up. And that time it goes absolutely nowhere. Birmingham saw the run coming, and Johnson is lit up by Jonathan Massacoy. So the Iron able to hang on to an 8-6 lead here with a minute to go in the first quarter. But don't let that detract from the huge run. Steve Spurrier, great drive, and I love how he relied on the run game there at the end. Because when you get the run game going, it takes the pressure off Garrett Gilbert and allows him to be Garrett Gilbert and to make the throws that he's supposed to make. Last week against Salt Lake, as we mentioned, it just was not Orlando's day. Offensively, defensively, they couldn't find a way to get going. Garrett Gilbert, 20 of 34, 241 yards and a touchdown, but 3 picks. Johnson only had 50 yards on the ground on 13 carries, so not the worst stats, but just wasn't able to get too involved in their offense. 264 yards, so it wasn't the worst performance, but only 8 points on the scoreboard, so you know that they weren't doing something right there. Birmingham, on the other hand, I love the way their offense looked on the first drive, and can they continue it here on the second drive as Elliott Fry sends it away? Quan Bray to receive and takes it from about the 2. With some room to run and takes it to 26, so good starting field position for the Iron. Let's see what they can make of it. They had a phenomenal drive, as I said, and let's see what Luis Perez can build upon. I mean, those the stats on that first drive are fantastic, and finish it off with a touchdown throw to Quentin Patton. See what Tim Lewis wants to dial up here on the second drive after Orlando scored a touchdown. Makes it a 2-point ball game. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Richardson, and Richardson, with a hold of his own, makes a move and taken down at the 32. That's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. He's had a couple nice runs and only 6 yards total because of a couple of those negative runs. But doing pretty good to start this game. And 2nd and 4 coming up, I really think that we're going to see more of Trent Richardson, especially as we head into the second quarter. Perez did great on that first drive, but he's not going to be able to play good forever. Trent Richardson is going to have to get going at some point. Back to throw is Perez. Playtime. Zip to pass, and it's complete across the middle. Big reception out to Jamal Robinson to the 49, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter. Robinson, he's another guy that's been involved quite a bit in this offensive scheme through the past few weeks. 246 yards. Adds another 17-yard reception right there. And so far, this Orlando defense really has not had any answers for Luis Perez, which is surprising considering how poorly Perez has played the last few weeks going against these defenses. But we'll see what happens going into the second quarter. 8-6, the hometown Birmingham Iron with the lead. And this home crowd, this is something that their home crowd has not really seen much of. First quarter scores and first quarter touchdowns from their offense. This is the 4th home game for the Iron this season. The second half of the year, they're only going to have one more. Trent Richardson breaking loose into Orlando territory to the 42. Brings up 2nd and 1. And again, this is going to be a big game for Birmingham because they have the loss to Atlanta already. So you lose here to Orlando, kind of starting to get in trouble there in the AAF East division. Meanwhile, Orlando beat Atlanta. They got to find a way to win here and beat Birmingham because that'll give them some cushion there in the East division. Trent Richardson again. Big hole. Trent Richardson breaking loose. And Trent Richardson, the 10, the 5, he's in. Richardson goes to the distance. 42 yards for the score. Wow, back-to-back rushing touchdowns. Richardson saw what Dearness Johnson did, and he wanted to match it. What a run, and this is what Richardson can do. He gets to talk as being the guy that bulldozes over the defenders. But look at the way he jumped through that hole and just made a huge play on Birmingham's offense. Look at the best it has all season long. 2-point try now. Richardson's going to be met and taken down by the face mask, so they can get a redo on this. And that's just, that's just a mistake from Reggie Northrup. He has the tackle there. He does not need to grab the face mask, and he does. And now it gives Birmingham another chance at this from the 1 to make it a 2-score game. Orlando's defense, I mean, this is the worst that they've looked this season. And even with the bad game against Salt Lake, Birmingham's somehow almost playing even better than Salt Lake did. Second try now for the 2-point conversion. Perez will throw. With time, and now he's going to be taken down. Josh Banks in there to make the play. So Orlando will at least keep this a 1-score game. This has been an exciting game so far. The running has been outstanding. Perez, something we saw him do last week, stand way too long in the pocket. Just throw that ball, man. You just got to find a way to get rid of it. He doesn't. Banks gets in there for the stop. Trent Richardson, 42-yard touchdown run. His longest of the season, and it is his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, his 5th touchdown from scrimmage. He is a playmaker, and he's one of the main reasons why Birmingham has a really good chance to go deep in the playoffs. I mean, they're 2-2 right now. I think that win over San Antonio has really given them a boost because they played a horrible 3 quarters of football, yet found a way to win that game, and now they're starting to get back on track offensively. 14 points in just 11 minutes. Something we really haven't seen them do all season long. Nick Novak. He'll kick it away. Back to receive. Akeem Hunt. And he'll take it from about the 2-yard line. Got some room to run. Makes a move, but then cuts it backwards. Taken down to 27. Tackled by Colin Thompson. Orlando. Decent starting field position. And they had a really nice drive. That big 46-yard run from Johnson for the touchdown to get their first score of the game. Let's see if they can respond here. And I think what's going to have to happen is Garrett Gilbert's going to have to step up and start making some big plays. Something he hasn't really done, since week 3. Here in week 5, this is a pivotal week for both these teams heading into the halfway point. On the ground, Johnson taken down to 28 by Devin Taylor. 2nd and 8 coming up. We'll see what Steve Spurrier wants to do, but with Chris Thompson, Charles Johnson, Jalen Marshall, who, by the way, Marshall has had a touchdown in every single game of the season so far. We'll see if he gets one today. They've got a lot of weapons. And John Price, they got to find a way to get it done through the air. On the ground again, and Johnson runs right into the defender, taken down immediately by Nick James. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 and a big 3rd down right now for the Apollos offense. Third and 8. See what the play call is from Spurrier. They've struggled on 3rd downs. They've not been a very good 3rd down team. Back to throw. Big blitz from Birmingham. He's going to go down the field. Man, wide open. It's complete. Making a move is Charles Johnson. Deep into Birmingham territory at the 41. And that is the explosive play that this Apollos offense needed. Down the seam. Johnson wide open. Makes a move. Picks up some extra yardage. Look at this. Perfect throw from Gilbert. Johnson just wide open. And you also see, I think, Jalen Marshall wide open there as well. I mean, he had 2 wide open receivers. And that's just an excellent play. Sets them up nicely now at the 41. Let's see if they can keep this moving. 30-yard reception for Johnson. His first catch of the day. See what the play call is here from Spurrier from the 41 of the Iron. They go on the ground. Johnson runs right into Casey Sales and loses 3 yards. So that's a big play by Birmingham to step up. Casey Sales just sheds the blocker immediately. He had a couple nice plays last week against San Antonio. And, both these defenses know that this game is probably going to come down to which defense ends up making a stop at the end of this ball game, or somewhere in the middle of this ball game that ultimately defines the final score. Excuse me. 2nd and 12 now. How can Orlando respond? They had a big play, lost a couple yards. Let's see what they can do here. If they can tie up this game, they get the ball for half. They're in a pretty decent spot. But if they don't come away with any points here, they're going to be in trouble. They go on the ground again to Johnson. Interesting play call. It takes it to 39. But it's going to be another 3rd and 8 coming up. And I'm not a big fan of that play call. I know you just want to get some of that yardage back. But now you're in another 3rd and long. And I don't think Birmingham is going to make the same mistake twice. Especially on the same drive. See what they come up with here on 3rd and 8. What's the play call going to be from Spurrier? Back to throw. Birmingham brings the blitz again. And again is another man wide open. Sean Price at the 23. So Orlando moves the chains again. And look at that. Gilbert 4 for 4 for 68 yards. And Price 32 yards. It's been Sean Price and Charles Johnson, the 2 leading receivers for Orlando, making the big plays today. Coming into this game, I was kind of expecting to see these defenses, you know, make some more plays, and this would be a little bit more of an uglier game. But we've seen it's been a shootout so far, and we'll see. I mean, at the same time, not necessarily a shootout because you've got the 2 big scores coming from the running backs, but you know what I mean. A lot of scoring and a lot of offense to start this game. 1st and 10 now from Birmingham's 23. All receivers spread wide for Gilbert. Quick pass, and it's incomplete. And that's his first incompletion of the day. Says up 2nd and 10, thinking he was going for Sean Price again. That's the type of stuff that, you know, Gilbert needs. Tighten up, and I know he's 4 for 5, so not the worst. But last week, a lot of those inaccurate passes were picked off. And something he's got to avoid doing today. He's got to find a way to get himself back comfortable and make good throws into the end zone. On the ground, Johnson runs right into the defender again. The offensive line not holding up too well after that touchdown run, but I think Birmingham a little bit tired of letting those big runs. They gave up a couple, quite a few big runs last week to Kenneth Farrow, and I think they were just like, you know what? No more of this. Ricky Hatley in there and make the big play. 3rd and 11 coming up from the 24. Another huge 3rd down. This is where Orlando has got to figure out these long 3rd downs. They just keep killing themselves, shooting themselves in the foot. Back to throw is Gilbert. Birmingham backs off with the pressure. Gilbert has to get rid of it. He will, going deep towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Jalen Marshall. So they're going to have to send out Elliott Fry for the field goal. Disappointing end to what is a good drive, and 3 points is important, but... Oh, maybe he's going for Sean Price, excuse me. But that's a big defensive stand from Birmingham, stepping up and making some plays. And now Elliott Fry for the 41-yard field goal attempt. See if he can make it a 5-point game. The kick is on its way, and it is good. 14-9. Orlando cuts into Birmingham's lead, but the Iron, with plenty of time now, trying to march down and put some more points on the board before halftime. And with the way their offense has looked, I don't really know if Orlando can stop them. Luis Perez made some great throws. Trent Richardson getting it done on the ground. It's been a phenomenal first half offensively for the Iron. But it has been a really good first half of AAF Simulated action, and we hope y'all are enjoying this game. Whoever's tuning in, we appreciate you. Week 5, first game of Week 5, and it's a big game again. Both these teams 2-2. Looking to gain control of the East Division. Fry, after the field goal, sends it away back to receive is Quan Bray, and he will just take a knee in the end zone. First and 10 going up from the 25 with 4:35 to play in this first half. Plenty of time for the Iron to put together a good drive. And Luis Perez, I really want to see his stat line, because certainly one of the best stat lines from the start of this game, because even in their win against Memphis in Week 1, he played good, but he threw 3 picks, and so far he's been pretty much flawless. Back to throw, big blitz, and is that hauled in? It's out of bounds. I think he was going for Devozia Felton there. 2nd and 10 now from the 25. And can Orlando's defense start making some plays? Because they've had a couple nice tackles in the backfield, but other than that, the secondary has had 0 answers for Trent Richardson, Luis Perez, Quentin Patton, any of those guys, really. 2nd and 10 now from the 25. High snap on the ground. Richardson bursting through the hole and close to a first down. Going to be about a yard short. 66 yards already for Richardson, and the touchdown brings up 3rd and 1. Huge 3rd down right now for Orlando's defense. They have not stopped the Iron once on 3rd down today. Can they get the job done here with under 4 minutes now in the second quarter? See what the play call is from Tim Lewis. Probably expect to see them give it to Richardson. No, they don't. On play action, Perez lets it fly, and it's a man wide open. Jamal Robinson breaks away from the tackle. It's a big first down for the Iron. Perez over 100 yards and a touchdown. He is looking phenomenal today, and again, it's really impressive to see him play so good against one of the better defenses in this league. And look at that. Jamal Robinson is just left wide open, and Orlando's playing zone. They're playing soft defense, and I don't know why you would, especially against someone like Luis Perez, who is known to throw interceptions, 7 on the season. And he actually had thrown 7 in just 3 weeks. He didn't throw any last week. So far today, again, he's played a great game. Birmingham's offense rolling here in one of their final home games of the season, despite only us being in week 5. But it's going to be a good week 5 with a lot of big-time games that are going to decide the fate of some of these teams. 1st and 10 now from the 45. On the ground, Richardson cuts it back, barrels over the defender, takes it to the 41. 70 yards for Richardson, and already knocking on the door of field goal range right now for Nick Novak. The one thing is, that's the one issue that Birmingham has had consistently through the season, their kicking. You know, the run game's been up and down, the passing game's been up and down, but their kicking has been pretty bad the entire season long. Nick Novak, I think he's 2 for 6 on the year, and he's missed every kick from 50-plus yards. Richardson with a big hole again! Richardson breaking tackles! And all the way down inside the 24. For a second, I thought he was going to take it the distance again. How about that? 88 yards on just 10 carries for Richardson. He's a madman today. He cannot be stopped. Look at the moves he's putting on these defenders. It's just a cakewalk for Richardson at this point. Wow. So Birmingham wins this game, they improve to 3-2, and they take the top place in the division. But if Atlanta wins as well, then Birmingham would be number 2, Atlanta number 1. 1st and 10 from the 24. They stick on the ground, why not? Richardson trying to get an edge. Out of bounds at the 16. 95 yards. He might have a 100-yard first half. That's nuts. I mean, Jaquan Gardner had a 100-yard day last week, I believe. And a couple weeks before that, Joel Bunyan had a 100-yard game for the Salt Lake Stallions. But 100-yard half? That's nuts. 2 minutes left in this first half. 14-9, Birmingham Iron with the lead. And we will see what Tim Lewis comes up with in the red zone. They are 2 for 2 on the day with scoring. They make it 3 for 3. 2nd and 3, and do they keep it on the ground? I mean, why not? They have 3 timeouts. Luis Perez will throw. Quick pass, it's checked down, it's caught. Robinson to the 2. This Iron offense is electrifying today. One of the best performances we've seen. The best performance we've seen from them this season. No doubt about it, and Robinson makes a great catch. You know, I don't know why Orlando is just playing such soft coverage right now. You look at these receivers are just able to get open and just sit down and make a nice easy catch. 1st and goal now from the 2, and do they feed the machine here? Do they give it to Trent Richardson? 1st and goal from the 2. Perez will throw. Plenty of time. Lets it go and just throws it away. Smart decision there. That time, hey, he actually threw it away for once. I'm impressed. 2nd goal coming up from the 2, and Birmingham, you know, they start putting together some wins, put together some momentum. Man, they could be a dangerous team. 2nd goal now from the 2, and it really would be bizarre to see Orlando go 2 and 3. On the ground, Richardson, and this time he goes absolutely nowhere. How about the stop by Earl O'Kine and Leon Orr? Blows that play up, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. He had nowhere to go. Orr in there, slow him down. O'Kine finishes him off. Big 3rd and goal right now for the Iron, and a huge 3rd and goal, more so for Orlando's defense. Can they get a stop, at least keep this a 17-9 game, so their offense can come out and, hopefully for Orlando's sake, march down, score a touchdown, tie this game up. See what the play call is from Tim Lewis as time continues to run. Closing in on a minute to go in this second half. Back in the first half. Luis Perez, the throw with time. End zone shot. It's caught. Touchdown, Jamal Robinson. The Iron have scored 3 straight touchdowns on 3 straight drives. 20-9. And Orlando needs help. They are getting shred up. Luis Perez playing a heck of a game right now. 2-point try right now. Big 2-point conversion attempt here. Make it a 13-point game. Trent Richardson can't find the angle, taken down. So it'll stay an 11-point game. 20-9. The Birmingham Iron on top. Definitely kind of a surprising scoreboard to see, especially coming to the end of this first half. With all the weapons that Orlando has, they just have not really found a way to put it together here in the AAF Simulated. They had a crazy loss to San Antonio, then they were blown out by Salt Lake, and right now, it's almost turning into a blowout already against the Iron. And they're going to have to find a way to score quick. I don't really think they can score before the half with only 2 timeouts. And how bad manages the clock. I mean, I don't see how it's possible. See what they can come up with, though. And it's disappointing for Orlando not to settle for the field goal after that good drive because their defense has done nothing. Akeem Hunt now to return. Looking for some room and takes it up to the 26. So 58 seconds left on the clock for the Apollos here in this first half. But man, what a first half from the Irons offense. 20 points. They put up 20 points offensively against Atlanta, and they ended up losing that game. So, you know, nothing is out of the question. But with the way Orlando has looked, I don't know. They just don't look like the same Apollos that we saw in week 1 and 2. First and 10 now from the 26. Back to throw is Gilbert. Gonna have to let it go. He's gonna go deep down the field. And it is intercepted. Picked off at the 31. That's Jamar Summers. Gilbert just kind of threw up a prayer in the Iron. Take it away, and that is Gilbert's 4th pick of the season. Wow. After starting the season 7-0, he has now been 1-4 with his TD to int ratio. That's just a poor decision by Gilbert. Because now you're giving Birmingham a chance to add on some more points here before the half. And it's a great adjustment by Jamar Summers to come down with that football. Wow. Look at that. 11 of 14, 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who would have thought those stats would have been from Luis Perez? Against Orlando, nonetheless. First and 10 now from their own 31. Plenty of time if they manage it correctly. Back to throw is Perez. Going deep down the field towards the sidelines. Tipped up and almost picked off. So Orlando's defense makes a nice play there. I think Cody Riggs was in there to break it up. They almost had a turnover of their own. And you know, turnovers is going to be something that could define this game as well. And Birmingham's defense coming up with some huge plays the last couple of weeks. Second and 10. High snap. They go on the ground with Richardson, and he goes nowhere. Timeout now from Orlando. Actually, no, Birmingham. Excuse me. So Birmingham's still trying to score. Which is kind of weird they decided to run there. I really don't know why. 3rd and 8 from the 33. Let's see what the play call is from Tim Lewis coming up. He's done a great job coaching this first half. Now, the thing is, second half consistency. Will they be able to do what they did here in the first half in the second half? They could not do that against Atlanta. Will it be a different result? I don't know. They go on the ground at Richardson, makes a move, cuts upfield, and picks up a Birmingham first down to the 44, and they use a timeout. How about that? Richardson, over 100 yards now in the first half. That is wild. He has been playing outstanding. Him and Perez, I mean, they are looking like championship material right now. And it's crazy because last week they didn't. Week before they didn't. Week before that they really didn't either. So What a turnaround here, week 5 for this Iron offense. Sticking on the ground, and this time Richardson has nowhere to go. Stacked up in the backfield. Leon Orr in there for another tackle for loss. Good play by the defense. Birmingham uses their final timeout, but there's only about 20 seconds, so I don't really see how it's possible for them to score right now, unless they get it done quickly and miraculously. See what they can come up with. But Orlando in the second half, they need to reset a lot of things. They need to reset their offensive scheme, most importantly, their defensive scheme. Birmingham's been doing everything they've wanted to today, which is crazy. Back to throw with Perez. Pressured, and now he's going to be taken down. Anthony Moten for the sack, and that should send us to halftime. So, hey, that's a good note for Orlando's defense to go out on here. Maybe give them something to build off of in the second half. But I know Perez, probably that's not the result he wanted here at the end of this first half. But 2 touchdowns, over 130 yards. He's played the best half of his AAF Simulated career. See what he can do in the second half. But time running down. Waiting for the scoreboard to come back up. There it is. And yeah, that should take us to halftime. And it does. So we have reached halftime here in Birmingham. The hometown Iron with a dominant first half over the Orlando Apollos in a game that is kind of a must-win for both of these teams right now. Really will set the tone for the second half of the season, whoever comes out with the win. But it's a 20-9 advantage for the Birmingham Iron right now. And we'll see what they can do in the second half. It's been a great first half, and we hope you all stick around for the second half. Here during the halftime report, just want to let you all know that if you feel like supporting our channel financially, it'd be greatly appreciated. We put a lot of time and effort into making the AAF Simulated a reality. And we have a merch store down in the description below. Or if you just want to send us a few bucks through PayPal, you can do that as well. It'd be really appreciated. And yeah, help us keep doing what we are doing. Welcome back to Birmingham. 20-9, the hometown Iron with the lead over the Orlando Apollos. The Apollos will get it for the second half, but they really have not played a good game. Despite their offense getting 9 points on the board, their defense has been horrendous. And offensively, there has been a lack of urgency. Gotta find a way to improve this. Move the ball down the field. Garrett Gilbert threw the interception there at the end of that first half, and he's gotta find a way to get his stats back on track. I mean, he was the best quarterback for the first 3 weeks, and the last couple weeks, he's looked pretty bad. Not at all MVP material, that's for sure, and I think Mike Bercovici kind of has MVP locked up, at least through the halfway point. Nick Novak sends it away, and the second half is underway. Akeem Hunt takes it from the goal line. Looking for some blockers, makes a move, and taken down. That was a little bit interesting of a tackle. At the 26, I feel like they should have called him horse collar tackle, but they won't. First and 10 went up, and Garrett Gilbert coming out there, 4 of 7, 68 yards and a pick. Since he started the day, 4 for 4 with 68 yards. He's thrown 3 incompletions, including an interception. Steve Spurrier has got to turn this thing around quickly here. Try to tie this thing up. Well, at least make it closer. On the ground, Johnson, after that big run, he has been stuffed. Nothing there on the ground. Barely back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up second and 10. Birmingham's defense continues to play really solid. Yeah, since that touchdown run, they have been shutting down Johnson. Second and 10 now from the 27. See what the play call is from Spurrier. They go on the ground again. Johnson trying to find a lane, but only picks up 4. He's going to bring up 3rd and 6 now from the 31. Big third down. Here's what Orlando's been doing all day long. Tough third down situations. They have not really been in any manageable third downs. They've converted some of them, but they've got to find a way to start getting good yardage on first and second down. I mean, with all their weapons, I don't know why they're not. 3rd and 6. Back to throw is Gilbert. Quick pass, and it's complete for the first down, and there is a flag on the play. This might be coming back. Wow. That hurts. That's Marquise Lucas, the left guard, and a nice first down conversion now is 3rd and 15. That is awful. Orlando continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Back to throw is Gilbert. With time, but he's going to have to get rid of it sooner or later. Lets it go deep down the field. And almost intercepted. Looking for Charles Johnson. And that's going to be a quick 3-and-out for Orlando instead of a nice first down conversion. And the Apollos, they're just not looking like the team that we saw in the actual alliance. They're just not getting it done. That was Sean Price. That's the second time I mixed up Sean Price for someone else. I'm sorry. But 4th and 15. Obviously, Ben Turk going to have to punt this one away. And can their defense step up and make a play? But I don't know. I just don't see Orlando being the dominant force that we saw in the actual alliance. Here in the AAF Simulated, it's a completely different ballgame. On the return is Quan Bray, who will be taken down to 33. So good starting field position for the Iron. And Orlando in a position where they can drop to under 500 for the first time this season. Luis Perez, he played a phenomenal first half, and let's see what he can cook up in the second half. But Trent Richardson, over 100 yards and a touchdown in that first half. 1st and 10 now from the 33. Delayed give to Richardson. Nice hold and nice move from Richardson before being taken down to 39. It's a gain of 6. 109 yards on 16 carries. This dude is a beast. And today is just, a statement day for him. Second and 4 now from the 39. See what the Iron can do here. Are they going to stay on the ground with Richardson? They won't. Perez to play action. Rips it across the middle. Quentin Patton wide open. Down inside the 40 to 35. Birmingham's offense is unstoppable. It really is. Quentin Patton just finding a way to get wide open, and this Orlando defense. Just look at this soft coverage. No one's playing man-to-man. It's a horrible defensive scheme, and it just hasn't been working today. I don't know why they have not switched it up. And you go back to that holding penalty. Orlando could be doing this right now. They're going to have to hope that they can hold him to a field goal. And Perez was lit up. Was pump faking a screen, it seemed like. Leon Orr in there for another big play. He's one of the only Apollo's defensive players. Him and Josh Banks, the only guys making things happen. That was dangerous, and Birmingham is lucky that wasn't a fumble or a tip pass or just something wacky. But Trent Richardson, again, I can't stop talking about him. He's just having such an impressive day on the ground. 224 yards on the season. He's got almost half of that already in today's game. 2nd and 11 to throw is Perez. Zips it outside and it's complete. Quentin Patton brings up 3rd and 4 from the 30. Huge third down. Orlando, again, has not stopped Birmingham once on third downs today. Can they get a big stop here? They can at least keep this a 2-score game if they can come up with a stop. Back to throw is Perez. Going deep down the field and almost intercepted. Terrence Garvin had a chance at it, and that's the play he needs to make. It's a good pass breakup, but that's in his hands. He's got to come up with that interception and just make a game-changing play. Okay, granted it was only 1, but I think if you put up 2, he would have certainly had a chance at intercepting that. Regardless, it's a nice play to knock that away. And now Nick Novak on for a 47-yarder. We'll see if he can knock it through. I mean, he's been horrible from plus 50. Inside 50 yards, he's been pretty good, though. 4th and 4, 47-yard field goal attempt. Nick Novak almost blocked, but his kick is good. Novak 3 for 7 on the season. Gives Birmingham a 14-point lead. And can the Iron, can they just hang on to it now is the question. We've seen them, blow the lead to Atlanta in week 3. Can they hang on here for what would be a huge win at home before they hit the road against, I think they're on the road to San Diego, in week 6, and then at Memphis in week 7. Back home at to Atlanta, and then on the road in Arizona and Orlando to close the season. So it's going to be a tough second half of the year. A win here, I mean, would really put them in a nice position going into that tough road trip filled second half of the season. Novak, after the field goal, sends it away. Back to receive Akeem Hunt, and he will take it out of the end zone. And it's a good decision. Takes it up to the 26, so gains a yard. With 5:43 to play, here is where Orlando's offense needs to step up, march down, and make a score. They have so many weapons, and it baffles my mind that last week they did next to nothing, and this week they haven't done much. I mean, since that Dearness Johnson touchdown, we haven't seen this offense throw an interception, have a holding penalty that cost them yardage, and have to settle for just a field goal because of a bunch of third and long situations. 1st and 10 from the 26. On the ground, Johnson spins his way to the 30. That's a gain of 4. I don't know. He looked like he got more than that. 2nd and 6 from the 30. Steve Spurrier, he's got to find a way to get this done. As the head coach, I mean, he's been a little bit underwhelming, especially with his offense, and his defense has been horrible today and last week, but that's beside the point. This offense has got to get going. All play action, Gilbert going to take it himself, and he's got a lot of room to run down the field, and he's able to hang on to the football. We've seen quarterbacks cough up the football a lot. Marquise Williams, in fact, coughed up the football twice against this Birmingham defense last week. But that's a nice pickup there to set him up 1st and 10 at the 43. And that play worked to perfection. Something we've seen Gilbert do quite a few times this season. Works really well. 1st and 10 now from the 43 as we're under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Very important game for both of these teams. On the ground, Johnson breaking through tacklers and up to the 49. So Johnson finally getting some momentum back here in this second half. 2nd and 4 coming up now from the 49. Can Orlando, just push them all down the field and cap it off with a touchdown? They have been horrendous with finishing drives with touchdowns this season. They lost the game in week 2 because of that. They lost the game in week 4 because of that. And once again, they go to Gilbert, who's got another first down to the 46. He's got 22 yards now on the ground. And they're into Birmingham territory for the first time in quite a while. Down by 14. This is the drive that they need to make a statement, march down, score a touchdown, get themselves right back in this ballgame. They can do it. They've got so many weapons. It's a matter of can they get it done. 1st and 10. And not passed once on this drive. In motion is Price. They get the play off. Off play action. Gilbert rolling out. Going deep down the field. Man wide open. It's caught. Jalen Marshall inside the 20 to the 18. And there's finally a big play through the air for this offense. And that's what we've been waiting to see them do today. They've had a couple decent passes through the air, but nothing that really has resulted in points. Now inside the red zone. Here is where they need to strike with a touchdown. And strike quick. 1st and 10 coming up from the 18, and their defense has failed to stop Birmingham once. The Iron are 4 for 4 scoring today. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Can Orlando's defense get a stop? But more importantly, can their offense get a touchdown right here, right now? 1st and 10 from the 18. Back to throw. Big blitz from Birmingham. Quick pass. It's caught. Hauled in at the 11. That's Charles Johnson. Sets him up nicely with 2nd and 3. This game, started as back and forth. Then Birmingham really took momentum. But right now, Orlando can get themselves right back in the game if they can just find a way to put it in the end zone. Can they get it done? 2nd and 3 now from the 11. Probably expect to see them go to Johnson. Actually, no. Motions him out of the backfield. To throw is Gilbert. Steps up in the pocket. Quick pass. It's caught. 1st down. Sets him up to 6. Nice reception there by Chris Thompson. His 2nd catch of the day goes for about 5 yards. 1st and goal from the 6 as we're under a minute and a half here in the third quarter. So Orlando putting together a drive here when they need to. Let's see if they can cap it off with a touchdown. Back to throw is Gilbert. Big blitz from Birmingham. Check it down. It's caught and waltzing into the end zone with Sean Price. Touchdown Orlando. And that is exactly what this offense needed to get themselves back into this game. It is 23-15. Sean Price is having one heck of a season. You know, we talked about him earlier today. 203 yards on the season, 2 touchdowns. And today, he's got over 40 yards and another touchdown. That's his 3rd of the season. Perfectly executed, and Price just open underneath. And there's no one there to tackle him before he gets into the end zone. And now, 2-point conversion try. It's a big one. You know, you convert here, then you only need 2 field goals or a touchdown. Meanwhile, if you can't convert, then you need a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So, see if they can get it done. They did not get their first attempt. Let's see what they can do. Back to throw with Gilbert, and he is going to be smashed. Lit up by Joe Powell. So it stays an 8-point deficit. Birmingham on top by 8. You know, this is what we see in these 2-point conversions. That's just a missed block by Johnson. Unable to get a good block there on Powell. And Gilbert just has no time to get rid of it. (23-15). And this is, again, you know, kind of what we were talking about. Which defense is going to end up making the stop that wins their team the game? Can Orlando's defense come up and make a big stop? Or will Birmingham's offense continue to roll? And can Birmingham's defense, at least, even if their offense doesn't score again here, can their defense shut down Orlando? Elliott Fry to send it away. 8-point lead for the Iron with 1:03 left to play. Quan Bray on the return. Looking for some room. Takes it up to the 27. And you know, we'll see what they can do here. Luis Perez marched them down. They had to settle for the field goal. Trent Richardson, 109 yards on the ground. His first 100-yard day of the season. Scored 42-yard touchdown run. He's got 5 total touchdowns in the season. He's playing a great game and proving why he's arguably the best back in this league. Richardson on the ground. Cuts it upfield. Big hole again to the 35. It's just too easy for him today. This Orlando defense has 0 answers for this rushing attack, and then it just makes it life so easy for Perez. What's funny is that Perez started throwing great, which allowed Trent Richardson to get things going, which in turn is now allowing Perez to keep his stats looking really dang good. And that's what happens. That's exactly what you want to see from your offense. Back to throw is Perez. Quick pass, and it's caught. LaDainian Washington at the 42, and I think that's his first catch of the day. He hasn't seen a lot of action, and yes, it is. Goes for 7, and that should take us to the 4th quarter. It's amazing. Birmingham's offense, an offense that has looked so lackluster, especially the last couple of weeks, has been unstoppable today against a defense that should be one of the better ones in the league. And in the 3rd quarter, it's a good one here in Birmingham. 23-15 lead for the hometown Iron in a big duel between the Iron and the Apollos to see who will take first place in the East Division of the AAF Simulated. Of course, if Birmingham wins it, it's still up for grabs between Birmingham and Atlanta, but we'll see. Richardson. This time he goes nowhere. That's a big-time tackle in the backfield. Marquez White. It's a loss of 2. That's a play that Orlando's defense needed. You know, they've gotten a couple of these plays. The question is, can they actually force a punt? Colton Schmidt has not been on the punt once today, after being on the punt several times last week. 2nd and 12. A lot of tension for both of these fans right now. You got Orlando and Birmingham. Again, a lot on the line in this game. 2nd and 12 now from the 40. Back to throw is Perez. All day. Goes to the sidelines. It's caught, but taken down immediately. Patton ends up... did he even get yardage? And no. So they don't give him forward progress. 3rd and 12 now from the 40. Huge 3rd down. Birmingham has gotten every single 3rd down except for the one where they had to settle for the field goal. They got a 3rd and 12 earlier in this game to West Saxton. Can Orlando's defense stop them? Back to throw is Perez. Going deep down the field. Got a man. It is West Saxton again. To the 36. Unbelievable. Orlando's defense is horrendous. They've been awful the last 2 weeks. 32 points last week given up, and here they can't even get a 3rd down stop. to Luis Perez, who defenses have kind of picked apart. And there's defenses that haven't even been great. First and 10 now from the 36, and Orlando needs a turnover or they're going to be in some big trouble. On the ground, Richardson once again stacked up, and you know, the one thing that they have to hope for is maybe some way, somehow they can hold them to where it'd be at least a 50-yard field goal, because then they have a 50-50 chance of Novak, you know, missing it. Second and 10 now from the 36. Leon Orr in there on another play. He's been making some big plays today. Look at that balanced offense. Tim Lewis, gotta give him credit. Coaching a phenomenal game today. Off play action. Perez with a deep drop. Gonna go deep and overthrows Saxton. So again, another big 3rd and 10. Can Orlando's defense come up with a stop? I mean, it's unreal the amount of third downs that they have given up today. This is where they need a big-time sack or big-time play. Just something. Back to throw is Perez. They bring a blitz. It's picked up. Wide open is Saxton again. You know, this is just deja vu. The same play over and over and over and over again. This is ridiculous. What a play by Saxton. Inside the red zone in Birmingham. Really starting to pull away right now. 83 yards. And just when we were saying Wes Saxton hasn't seen a lot of production, he's had one of the best games of the season. Birmingham is making things happen. First and 10 now from the 16. Luis Perez having himself a heck of a day. Back to throw. With all day. Goes to the outside and it's caught. Jamal Robinson at the 13. Time continuing to run in Birmingham. Really in a comfortable situation right now. As long as they don't turn over the football. They did not turn it over once last week. And so far today, no turnovers. And that's something that is winning them these games. Very clean football from the Iron. And even though Garrett Gilbert's interception didn't do a whole lot, it's been difficult for him to get things going. 2nd and 7 on the ground. Richardson taken down. I'm surprised that wasn't a face mask. Leon Orr in there again. Brings up 3rd and 7 from the 13. Terrence Garvin also in on the play. 3rd and 7. Big play coming up. Because if you at least hold them to a field goal, got a glimmer of hope. One thing Perez can't do here is throw an interception. You don't throw an interception, I'd say this game is pretty much locked up. High snap. They go on the ground. Play it safe. Richardson taking down the 9, so they'll have to send out Novak. And again, Orlando gets a 3rd down stop, but it doesn't even matter because they can't find a way to stop them when they need to and force a punt. Leon Orr again in there to make a tackle, along with Garvin for the 2nd time in a row, but doesn't really matter. Birmingham's going to get an easy field goal here. Going to leave Orlando with not much time to score twice. 26-yard field goal attempt. Should be a no-brainer for Nick Novak. Kick is on its way, and it's right through. 26-15, the Iron on top. They are playing a phenomenal game today. Tim Lewis, he has turned around this program. Even last week, despite them not playing a good game, they found a way to win, beat San Antonio, and now at home, in a position to get a huge win over the Apollos. Something we really weren't expecting to see. You know, you told me in week 3 that Birmingham was going to kind of dominate Orlando. I would have been like, that's crazy, but hey, here we are. Nick Novak gave for the field goal on to send it away. Back to receive is Akeem Hunt. Taking it from about the 5, looking for some room to run, and spins away from 1. Takes it to 32. Good starting field position, and let's see what they can do here. 1st and 10 gun up from the 32. But the fact that Orlando can go 2-3 in this season is crazy. With the amount of talent that they have, with the offense and the defense, I don't know. It's just bizarre. 1st and 10 from the 32 coming up. See what they can do. 4:36 to play. Gilbert to throw with all day. Just checks it to the outside. It's caught by Johnson. It's only a gain of 1 yard. Look at that. You know, Garrett Gilbert started the season just throwing touchdowns and dimes all over the place, and now he's just not really that effective of a quarterback. And I'd say there's quite a few quarterbacks right now that are playing better football than him. And he was the best quarterback through the first 3 weeks. 2nd and 9 now from the 33. All receivers spread wide. Quick pass from Gilbert. That's Johnson to the 44. We got 1st and 10 from the 44. Time continues to roll, and this game is kind of slipping away from the Apollos here in the 4th quarter. It's because their defense has given up 5 straight scores to the Iron. 1st and 10. Back to throw is Gilbert. Quick pass again, that's Johnson. Trying to cut it upfield, takes it to the 50. Time continuing to run here. 2nd and 3 coming up. But yeah, I mean, Birmingham right now looking like they're going to win this game. They're going to improve them to 3-2. San Diego's going to be a tough game next week. But, you know, if they can get a win here, put together a couple wins against Arizona and Atlanta, they're in really good position to make the playoffs. Back to throw is Gilbert. Guns it across the middle. Man wide open. It's caught by Chris Thompson, who takes it down inside the 30 to 29. So, I mean, the Apollo's offense has not played that bad. They put up 15 points, score a couple touchdowns. Problem is their defense has been so bad. And also, at the same time, it's allowed Birmingham's offense to take up so much time. All those 3rd down conversions, just eating up clock. And it's just been too much for Orlando's offense to overcome. Which is funny because I'm pretty sure when these teams played in real life, it was an offensive disaster from Birmingham. 1st and 10 now. Closing in on 2.5 minutes to play. This game is kind of on its last leg. Back to throw is Gilbert. Going to the sidelines, and it's hauled in at the 20. That's Jalen Marshall, who has not had a touchdown this game. Had a touchdown in every single game before this one. Only got about 2 minutes to try to get it done here. 2nd and 1 coming up from the 20, but that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 26-15. The Birmingham Iron just 2 minutes away from getting a huge win over the Apollos and improving to 3-2, claiming 1st place, at least for now, in the East Division. And Orlando 2 minutes away from falling to 2-3, and really in a spot where they need to find out what the heck to do moving forward. We'll take a look at their schedule in a minute after this 2nd and 1. All receivers spread wide. Gilbert to throw. Checks it out, and it's caught by Johnson, but it's only a gain of 4, and time continues to roll. But looking at Orlando's, you know, going into the halfway point at 2-3, then they host Arizona. That should be a win. They beat Atlanta 30-9, but the way they look right now, I think Atlanta is gonna get the win at home. Then they play Memphis, who they almost lost to, and that game is gonna be in Memphis. Then they play San Diego, and then they close out with Birmingham. Orlando, they do not have a clear path to the playoffs with the way they're playing right now. 1st and 10, Gilbert to throw. Has to let it go to the end zone, and is that caught? It is! Touchdown, Charles Johnson in the corner of the end zone. And the offense makes it a 5-point game, but is it a little bit too little, a little bit too late? What a toe tap from Johnson. Gets both feet down there in the corner of the end zone. Beautifully done. And yeah, got both of them down. I'm pretty sure this is going to go to review, but it should stand if it does. Let's see if we can get another couple looks at this. From what I could tell, he has possession with both feet down. Right there, he's got both feet down and possession. I think. It's my take. I think this one should stand. And it does stand, so here, this is huge. They're going to need a crazy onside kick, but first they need this. Gilbert to throw. And it is caught. So Jalen Marshall does not get a touchdown, but he gets a 2-point conversion. It's a 3-point game, 26-23. And here's the problem. You know, if your defense was able to make a stop earlier, you'd have a lot more time on the clock right now. But with only a minute 29, you still have 3 timeouts. But the odds of a comeback are just so low because first you need an onside kick, or you need to somehow stop Birmingham in 3 quick plays and march down the field with 20 seconds on the clock. 26-23, Birmingham just a minute 29 away from a big win. Big onside kick. We have not had an onside kick recovery at all, ever, in simulated history. And we will not have one here. Birmingham gets at the 46. Felton on the hands team gets the job done. And Orlando gonna need a miracle right now. Birmingham just needs just a simple first down. That's all they need. Trent Richardson, 119 yards on the ground today. He has been such a huge piece of this victory and really kicked off that momentum with that big 42-yard run. I know they scored before that, but that run kind of just gave them control, and they held on to it since then. 1st and 10 from the 46. They go on the ground. Richardson taken down to 44, and Orlando uses their first timeout. So, 26-23, and here's another thing, which is the really interesting part. These 2-point conversions play such a big role. Orlando, they're 1 for 3 today on 2-point conversions. If they were 3 for 3, they'd be winning by 1 point. On the other hand, Birmingham, I think they're also 1 for 3. They could be up by 7 right now. 2nd and 8 now from the 44. Once again on the ground, and Richardson eaten alive by Reggie Northrup in the backfield. See, then again, it is 1st and 2nd downs. The defense hasn't played bad on 1st and 2nd downs. Just they've been so bad on 3rd downs. Thing is, does Birmingham pass it here? I mean, with the way that the secondary is played, why wouldn't you pass it here? See what they decide to do here from the 46. Orlando's defense has, again, not been able to get one stop when they need to, all game long. They go on the ground. Richardson just taken down at the 38. So they use the timeout, and probably just expect the team. I do not see why you would send out Nick Novak for a 55-yarder here. Quite obviously, let Colton Schmidt pin them deep. Then Orlando only has a minute 16. This game is practically over. What in the world? 4th and 3, they're leaving the offense out on the field. What? Press to throw. Game on the line. It is caught by Robinson. 1st down. Unbelievable. Wow. So Tim Lewis keeps the offense out on the field to seal the deal. Birmingham's going to win it. Simply unreal. Wow. 1st and 10 now from the 33, and quite obviously they're just going to kneel this out. That should probably be the only kneel that we need to see. That is unbelievable. What a play call from Lewis. That is so gutsy and so risky. I don't think he had any second thoughts, any hesitation. He just kept the offense out there. Quick pass, and it worked to perfection. I mean, why not? Orlando's defense could do absolutely nothing to stop that pass game all day long. Why not stick with it? And that will do it from Birmingham. The Iron find a way to win 26-23. They improved to 3-2 on the season. The Orlando Apollos are in trouble, dropping this one 26-23. They are now 2-3 on the season. Birmingham taking 1st place in the division, and if we look, this is the 1st game of Week 5, so losses have to come down the pipe with San Diego playing Salt Lake, San Antonio playing Arizona, and a big game between Atlanta and Memphis. But look at that. Birmingham now taking control in that division for now. And what a win. And we'll see what they can do next week against San Diego. Meanwhile, Orlando going to need to try to bounce back against Arizona to try to get back to 500, which is wild. What a win. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed this game. And if you're an Orlando Apollos fan, I know. It's 2-3, and there's not much I can do about it. It's a simulation. This is a completely different league than it was in real life. But Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game of the AAF Simulated. If you enjoyed, make sure to give us a follow on Twitter, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also check out the AAF sheets down in the description below. You get access to all the player stats, game stats, season stats, the standings, all, and so much more. And again, if you feel like financially supporting us, it'd be really appreciated. If not, just keep watching and supporting us by watching our videos. We really appreciate that as well. Hope you all have a great day, and the next game should be a good one. I think it's either San Antonio, Arizona, or San Diego, Salt Lake. Should be a good one either way.